The planet Verdun 7 floated silently in the dark corner of the galaxy. It was a peaceful world, rich with green lands, calm rivers, and shining cities. For years, its people lived quietly, far from the wars of the galaxy. But one night, everything changed. In the main control tower of the capital city, a young officer named Kiran sat in front of the scanner screens. His job was simple: watch for any unknown ships or signals. Most nights, nothing happened. Just the steady hum of the machines and the blinking lights. But tonight was different. A loud beep echoed through the room. Kiran's eyes widened. A red warning light flashed on the main screen. Unknown signal detected. He shouted. Within seconds, other officers rushed into the room. The commander of the planetary defense, Tiras Vaughn, stormed in. He was a tall, strong man with sharp eyes and gray hair. "What is it, Kiran?" Taras demanded. "It's a distress signal, sir," Kiran replied, his voice shaking. "From one of our mining colonies on Moonkara." Tiras's face turned serious. Moonkara was a small moon that supplied important minerals for Verdun 7. There were no military ships near it. "Play the message," Tiras ordered. A crackling voice came through the speakers. The message was broken and filled with static. "This is Moonkara under attack, unknown enemy. Cities burning, need help. Please, anyone." Then silence. The room fell quiet. Every officer stared at the screen. The signal had stopped. "Send a response," Taras commanded, but Kiran shook his head. "No connection, sir. It's gone." "Scan the area around Moonkara," Taras said. The scanners started sweeping the space. Strange readings began to appear. Large energy spikes, signs of destroyed ships, and something else. Double quotes, sir. "We're detecting a massive object approaching Verdun 7. Kiran reported. Taras frowned. "Identify it." I can't," Kiran said nervously. "It's not in our records." "No Empire flag? No known ID. How big is it?" Kiran gulped. 4 times bigger than our largest warship." Gasps filled the room. Taras activated the emergency alarm. A loud siren echoed across the city. Red lights flashed. Citizens hurried to safety shelters. "Alert the council," Taras said, "and get our defense ships in position." Within minutes, the council members gathered in the command room. Old politicians, military leaders, and scientists filled the space. Everyone's face was tight with fear. "What's happening, Taras?" Councillor Varn asked. "We received a distress call from Moonkara. Then it went silent. Now, something big is coming. Something we can't identify." "Could it be the Zinther Empire?" Another councillor asked. "No known empire has a ship this large," Tiras replied. Panic spread through the room. "We must contact the Galactic Alliance." Someone shouted. "There's no time," Taras said firmly. "The object will arrive in 5 minutes." Kiran interrupted. "Sir, another reading. It's slowing down. It's entering orbit." Everyone looked at the main screen. A massive shape appeared in the darkness of space. Its size was terrifying. Dark metal, strange glowing lines, and weapons no one recognized. What is that?" A counselor whispered. The scanners failed to read its structure. Its energy was unlike anything they had seen. Then, without warning, a message came through. An old, calm voice spoke. "You called. We came." The room froze. Every face turned pale. "That's human," someone said in shock. The name sent a chill through the room. Humans had vanished from the galaxy 2 centuries ago, after a brutal war. Their ships, their cities, their people, gone. No one knew how or why. Some said they had destroyed themselves. Others believed they escaped to some unknown world. But now, a human ship had returned. The voice spoke again. Prepare your defenses. They're already here. And then silence. Tiras clenched his fists. Kiran scanned for enemy. Ships. The scanners picked up dozens of fast-approaching signals. Strange, sharp-looking ships moving like shadows. They're surrounding us. Kiran whispered. The council broke into arguments. Some wanted to surrender. Others begged for evacuation. But Terrace made his decision. Ready all ships, he ordered. We hold the line. As the unknown human warship floated silently above the planet, the people of Verdun 7 prepared for the battle of their lives. The scanner showed enemy ships closing in. Time to impact. 2 minutes. And in those final moments of silence, the galaxy itself seemed to hold its breath. A heavy silence hung over Verdun 7. The giant, unknown ship floated above the planet like a sleeping monster. Its dark metal hull shimmered with strange symbols. No one could understand them. It had no Empire flag, no alliance mark, and no known signature. In the command center, Commander Terras Voln stood before the main screen, his hands behind his back. His sharp eyes stared at the ship. His officers moved around nervously, checking scanners and communication lines. Any message from them? Terras asked. Kiran shook his head. Nothing, sir. No reply. The council members behind Terras whispered to one another. Fear was thick in the air. Who are they? One asked. Could it really be humans? Another muttered. Terras didn't answer. He kept his eyes on the ship. Then, without warning, a narrow communication line opened again. The same calm human voice spoke. You sent a distress signal. We answered. Everyone in the room tensed. Identify yourself, Terras demanded. A brief silence. Then the voice replied, Captain Elara Miles, commanding officer of the warship Resolute. A collective gasp filled the room. The Resolute? Kiran whispered. But that ship was lost 2 centuries ago. I've read about it in the old war records, Counselor Varn said. It was one of the last human flagships during the Great Galactic War. Terras clenched his jaw. The last anyone had seen of the humans was during that war. They fought with unmatched fury, but disappeared suddenly after one final battle. No one knew why. Their technology, their people, everything was gone. Now this ghost ship had returned. Before anyone could react, a new alert blinked on the screen. Sir, Kiran shouted. Multiple unknown ships detected, closing fast. How many? Terras asked. At least 30, maybe more. Their design matches no known race. Terras turned to the council. See? This is what the humans warned about. But how did they know? Counselor Varn asked. Suddenly, the human voice returned. They're called the Varnuk, ancient enemies. You can't fight them with your ships. Terras glared at the speaker. Why should we trust you? You humans vanished centuries ago. No one's seen you since. A soft chuckle came through, because we've been fighting them in the dark ever since. We've kept them away from your world, but now they found a way back. Another officer spoke. Sir, the enemy ships are forming an attack line. The main screen showed dozens of sharp, needle-like ships surrounding Verdun 7's orbit. They looked like shadows with glowing red eyes. Terras made a decision. Activate all defense systems. Ready the fleet. He turned to the speaker again. Captain Miles, if you're really here to help, prove it. The Resolute's voice answered calmly. Watch the sky. A moment later, massive cannons extended from the Resolute's hull. Their barrels glowed with blue energy. Strange, ancient human tech powered up, humming like thunder. One by one, the enemy ships fired dark energy blasts at Verdun 7. The planet's shields flared under the impact. Before the enemy could fire again, the Resolute unleashed its weapons. Blinding beams of blue light shot through space. Enemy ships exploded instantly. torn apart by weapons far more powerful than anything the Council had ever seen. The command room erupted in shocked cheers. They destroyed 10 ships in one shot, Kiran said in disbelief. Terras allowed himself a small smile. I guess they are human after all. But the battle was far from over. More enemy ships moved in, surrounding the Resolute. Terras opened the come line again. Captain Miles, can you hold them off? The voice replied, steady and fearless. We'll do more than that. But you need to prepare your world. This is only the beginning. What do you mean? Terras asked. The Varnuk. Never travel alone. There's always a mother ship. As if on cue, the scanners lit up again. Sir? Kiran shouted. A massive new object just arrived at the edge of the system. It's huge. Terras felt a chill run down his spine. How big? Kiran's voice shook. 10 times. Larger than the Resolute, sir. The room fell silent again. Even the counselors stopped speaking. The screen showed a monstrous ship, dark and ancient, with twisted spikes and glowing red symbols. It looked like a beast from a nightmare. Alara. Miles' voice spoke one last time. That is the real enemy. And if we fall here, the rest of the galaxy will follow. The screen blinked. Asterisk. The planet Verdun 7 had never seen a sight like this. A giant warship called the Resolute, lost for centuries, now hovered above the planet. Around it, the dark enemy ships of the Varnuk moved like shadows. And far in the distance, the enormous mothership waited like a hungry beast dot inside the command center. Commander Terras Volan's face was tight with worry. The human warship had destroyed many enemy ships, but more kept coming. The scanners blinked with new enemy signals every minute. Kiran worked the controls with trembling hands. Sir, the enemy numbers are rising. We can't hold them for long. Counselor Varn spoke nervously. We should call for help from the Galactic Alliance. There's no time, Terras said. By the time they arrive, we'll be gone. Message came through again from the Resolute. The calm, old voice of Captain Elara Miles filled the room. Commander Volan, I need to speak with you. Alone. Terras frowned but nodded. He stepped into a private chamber and turned on the secure channel. The screen flickered and showed Elara Miles for the first time. She was an older woman with sharp eyes and gray hair tied back. The lines on her face spoke of long battles and deep loss. I don't have much time, Elara began. You need to listen carefully. Speak, Terras said. Ilara's voice was steady. The Varnuk are not like other enemies. They don't fight for land or power. They fight to consume. They destroy worlds, drain their energy, and leave them dead. We humans fought them in a great war 2 centuries ago. Terras narrowed his eyes. But you vanished after that war. Elara gave a sad smile, because we had no choice. The Varnuk followed us across the stars. To protect the rest of the galaxy, we disappeared into deep space, carrying the fight with us. Many of our people died. Many ships were lost, but we survived in the shadows, barely. Terras felt a chill in his chest. And now they've returned. Yes, Elara said. They must have found a way back through an ancient wormhole. That's how they reached your colony on Moomkara without warning. Terras took a deep breath. Can we stop them? Alara's expression darkened. Not with what? You have. Your fleet, your weapons. They'll fall like leaves in a storm. But there's one hope. What is it? Terras asked. Elara leaned closer to the screen. A place called Sentinel Prime. Terras frowned. Never heard of it. You wouldn't. Elara said. It's a hidden human battle station, built in secret during the last days of the war. It holds weapons powerful enough to challenge the Varnuk fleet. But it's deep in uncharted space, and no one has been there in over 200 years. Terraces. Mind raced. Is it still operational? I don't know, Ilara admitted, but it's our only chance. At that moment, Kieran's voice crackled through the comm. Commander, the enemy mothership is moving closer. Estimated arrival, 3 hours. Terrace made his decision. I'll send a team, he said. Ilara's eyes hardened. Make sure they're ready for anything. Sentinel Prime's defenses may still be active. It won't recognize Verdun 7 ships. I'll lead them myself, Terrace said. No, Ilara replied. You need to stay and defend your people. I'll send my crew's second officer with them. His name is Darnus Vale. He knows the codes. Before Terrace could respond, another alert sounded. Sir, Kieran shouted. Moon Kara colony, it's gone. Everyone in the command room went silent. Destroyed? Terrace asked quietly. Kieran's face was pale. Wiped out, sir. No survivors. A heavy silence filled the room. The council members lowered their heads. Ilara's voice spoke through the silence. This is what they do. If we don't stop them here, Verdun 7 will be next. Terrace clenched his fists. I'll gather the best pilots and soldiers, he said. We leave within the hour. Ilara nodded. I'll send Darnus Vale to meet you. And Terrace, be careful. There are worse things than the Varnock out there. Things we tried to bury with the past. Before Terrace could ask what she meant, the signal cut out dot in the distance. The giant mothership's weapons began to glow with a dark, blood-red light. Time was running out. Terrace looked at his officers. Ready the ships. Prepare the coordinates for Sentinel Prime. If this is our last chance, we'll take it. And far above them, the ancient human warship Resolute moved to shield the planet once more. Asterisk, the sky above Verdun 7 was filled with the glow of war. The dark enemy ships circled like vultures. The monstrous Varnock mothership hung in the distance, its blood-red lights slowly growing brighter dot in the main hangar. Commander Terrace Voln stood before a group of hand-picked pilots and soldiers. All wore serious faces. They knew this was a mission from which many might not return. Beside Terrace stood a tall man in an old human combat suit. His name was Darnus Vale, second officer of the Resolute. His sharp gray eyes scanned the team. I'll lead you to Sentinel Prime, Darnus said. But understand this. It's not just a station. It's a battlefield frozen in time. And it hasn't seen a friendly face in 2 centuries. The team boarded 3 small but fast ships. Terrace gave them a final salute before the bay doors opened. The ships shot into space, leaving Verdun 7 behind. Inside the lead ship, pilot Sierra Lynn guided them through ancient star lanes no longer on modern maps. The space ahead was dark and quiet. But it didn't stay that way for long. Commander Vale, Sierra called. I'm picking up strange readings. Wreckage everywhere. Darnus frowned. We're close. Outside their windows, the team saw broken ships drifting like dead whales. Old war machines from long-forgotten battles. Some still bore the faded flags of ancient human fleets. Others were twisted alien shapes. This is a graveyard. One soldier whispered, more like a warning. Darnus replied dot as they passed through. The scanners picked up signs of energy still clinging to the wrecks. Strange, flickering lights blinked on shattered ship hulls. A silence felt heavy, as if the ghosts of those lost ships still watched dot. Suddenly, an old human satellite powered up. Warning, unauthorized vessels detected. State your clearance code or be destroyed. The team froze. Darnus quickly punched a code into the console. Vale Theta 7. A long pause followed. Then the voice answered. Code accepted. Proceed to Sentinel Prime. Everyone let out a breath. Is it always like this? Sarah asked. Worse, Darnus said quietly. After hours of tense travel, they finally saw it. Sentinel Prime. The battle station was huge, larger than any modern warship. It floated in deep space, surrounded by a ring of broken ships and weapon platforms. Its dark hull showed scars from old battles. Parts of it still flickered with dying lights. The main scanner picked up its systems. "Sir?" "It's still operational," Sierra said. Darnis gave a small nod. "Let's hope it remembers we're on its side." As their ships approached, the station suddenly came to life. Massive turrets turned toward them. Energy fields powered up. Old, deadly weapons that hadn't fired in centuries locked onto the approaching ships. "Hold position," Darnis ordered. "Do not fire." A deep, cold voice came from the station. "Unknown. Vessels detected. Prepare for termination." "No," Darnis shouted. "This is Second Officer Darnis Val of the human warship Resolute. Authorization. Echo Sentinel-1." The station paused. The massive guns still glowed, ready to fire. "Authorization incomplete. Identity scan required." Without waiting, Darnis stepped into the ship's scanner pod. The ancient stations. Sensors swept over him without another long pause. Then the voice returned. Identity confirmed. "Welcome back, Officer Vale." The weapons powered down. The huge bay doors of Sentinel Prime slowly opened. Inside, the station was dark and filled with mist. Old human symbols and flags still hung on the walls. The ships landed, and the team stepped out, their boots echoing on the cold metal floor. "It feels like a tomb," one soldier said. Darnis nodded. "In a way, it is." They moved carefully through the silent halls. Broken robots and ancient battle drones lay in pieces. Old screens flickered with warning messages. Varnoak presence detected. "Battle stations." "Wait," Sierra said. "If they detect Varnoak?" "Does that mean?" A sudden alarm blared. Enemy ships approaching. Darnis's face turned grim. "They found us." Back at Verdun 7, Kieran shouted into the comm. "Commander Terras, the Varnock mothership just launched a second wave. The Resolute is holding them, but it won't last." Terras clenched his fists. "Tell Captain Miles to hold as long as she can. We're almost ready." Inside Sentinel Prime's control room, a massive AI core powered up. A figure appeared on the screen, a hologram of an old human commander. "You have one chance," the AI said. "Use the Nova Lance, but be warned, once fired, Sentinel Prime will fall." Darnis stared at the screen. "It's our only hope." He pressed the activation switch. A huge countdown began. Nova Lance charging. Time to fire, 10 minutes. Suddenly, red warning lights flashed. Intruder detected inside the station. Darnis spun around. "What? That's impossible." But deep within the dark halls, something moved. Asterisk. The cold halls of Sentinel Prime echoed with alarms. Red lights blinked on ancient walls, and the heavy hum of the Nova Lance's charging core filled the air. The countdown showed 9 minutes remaining. Darnis Vale and his team rushed through the misty corridors, their weapons raised. The sound of metal footsteps echoed behind them. "Move fast," Darnis ordered. "We need to hold the control room until the lance fires." "But what's chasing us?" Sarah asked, her voice tight. Darnis didn't answer. He had a terrible guess, but he wasn't ready to say it. Back on Verdun 7, the situation grew worse. In the command center, Commander Terras Vaughn stood before the giant screen, watching as wave after wave of enemy ships pounded the planet's defenses. The Resolute fought bravely, but the enemy was too many. "They're breaking through the outer shield." Kieran shouted, "Send everything we have." Terras barked. Missiles streaked into the sky. Planetary cannons roared. But it was like throwing stones at a hurricane. On the Resolute's bridge, Captain Alara Miles gripped the armrest of her command chair. "We can't hold much longer," her officer reported. Alara narrowed her eyes. Hold the line. Buy them time. Outside the station, the giant Varnak mothership moved closer, its massive weapons glowing dot inside Sentinel Prime. Darnus's team reached the control room. Massive screens showed the space battle and the Nova Launch countdown -6 minutes remaining. Then, the doors behind them slammed shut. Darnus spun around, his weapon ready. Out of the darkness, a tall, twisted figure stepped forward. It wore pieces of old human armor mixed with alien metal. Its face was hidden under a cracked helmet, but its voice was clear. You should not have returned. The soldiers raised their guns. What is that? Syrah whispered. Darnus's face turned pale. It's a revenant. A what? Darnus took a shaky breath. During the old war, some human soldiers were captured by the Varnak, twisted, turned into something else, half human, half monster. We thought we destroyed them. All? The revenant stepped closer. You left us here? To rot in this tomb. Now we will finish what was started. It raised a long blade made from a Varnak ship's bone-like metal. Open fire. Darnus shouted. The room filled with the roar of gunfire. Energy blasts hit the revenant, but it kept coming. One soldier screamed as it cut him down. Another was thrown against the wall. Darnus fired a shot straight through the revenant's helmet. The creature dropped, smoke rising from the wound. But then the scanners beeped. Multiple life signs. Incoming, Sarah said, horror in her voice. More revenants appeared in the shadows. They've been hiding here for centuries, Darnus growled. And now they've awakened. On the bridge of the Resolute, Alara watched as the enemy mothership charged its main weapon. Time? She asked. 4 minutes, came the reply. Good enough, Alara muttered. She turned to her. Crew, we ram them. The officers stared. Captain? Alara's voice was calm. Full power to engines. Head straight for the mothership. If we fall, we take them with us. The crew saluted, fear and pride in their eyes. Back in Sentinel Prime, Darnus and his team fought desperately. One by one, soldiers fell. Blood stained the floor. Syrah fired her last round, then picked up a fallen soldier's weapon. Darnus. The lance is ready. The countdown hit 1 minute. We need to reach the final switch, Darnus said. Cover me. He sprinted across the control room as revenants closed in. A blade cut his arm, but he kept running. 0.30 seconds. He reached the chi. Old console. It was locked with an ancient code. Come on. Come on, Darnus muttered. 20 seconds. The revenants smashed into the last defenders. Syrah screamed as one tackled her. 0.10 seconds. Darnus typed the final command. Nova Lance ready. Fire authorization needed. He slammed his palm on the scanner. Fire, you old machine, the AI's voice spoke. Firing Nova Lance. A massive beam of pure white energy burst from Sentinel Prime, cutting through space. It struck the Varnak mothership head-on. The entire sky lit up like a second sun. The mothership cracked, then exploded in a blinding wave. On the Resolute's bridge, Alara smiled one last time as the shockwave hit. See you on the other side. The Resolute was caught in the blast, vanishing in the light. On Verdun 7, shears erupted as the enemy fleet crumbled. The scanners cleared, but inside Sentinel Prime, only silence remained. The control room was wrecked. Bodies of both soldiers and revenants lay still. Smoke rose from shattered consoles. Darnus Vale lay wounded, barely alive. He looked up as the AI's voice spoke one final message. Warning. Deep vault breach detected. Unknown entity released. Darnus's eyes widened. What? What did we just wake up? Asterisk, the burning wreckage of the Varnak fleet, floated in space. Their monstrous mothership had been destroyed by the Nova Lance. Across Verdun 7, people cheered, believing the war was over. But inside the cold, broken halls of Sentinel Prime, anew, terror was awakening. Darnus Vale lay on the floor of the control room, blood running down his face. Alarms still echoed around him. Flickering screens showed dead soldiers and shattered machines. The AI's voice spoke again. Warning. Deep vault breach. Unknown entity released. Darnus struggled to sit up. What did we just wake up? He pulled himself toward a nearby console. The screen showed an old sealed chamber deep within the station. Inside, something moved. It was massive, dark, and alive. The sensors tried to scan it, but the data came back in strange symbols. Suddenly, a weak voice came through the comm system. Sira, here, still alive. Darnus coughed. Sira, listen to me. We're not safe. There's something worse down here. Sira's face appeared on a cracked screen. She was badly injured but alive. What is it? She asked. Darnus's face was grim. During the final days of the old war, the humans created a weapon, a living one. A creature made from both human and Varnock DNA, designed to destroy the enemy from within. Sira's eyes widened. You mean they made a monster? Darnus nodded slowly. They called it the Black Star. It was too dangerous. Even its creators were afraid. So they sealed it inside Sentinel Prime and left this station adrift. And now it's loose? Sira whispered. Darn is. Didn't have to answer. The lights flickered. A deep, unnatural growl echoed through the station. On Verdun 7, Commander Terras received a final message from Sentinel Prime. It was Darnus's voice. Commander, it's not over. We made a terrible mistake. A creature is loose on the station. If it escapes into the galaxy, nothing will survive. Not humans, not aliens. No one. Terras clenched his jaw. Is there a way to stop it? A pause. Only one. We must destroy Sentinel Prime. From the inside, Terras's heart sank. But you're still in there. Another pause. I know. Inside the station, Sira dragged herself toward a weapon locker. The walls shook as something massive moved in the shadows. Red eyes flashed for a moment. The creature's long claws scraped against the metal. I won't let you leave this place, Sira said through gritted teeth. Darnus opened a final system command. Self-destruct. Sequence engaged. The AI spoke. Station will self-destruct in 5 minutes. The creature roared. Its voice was a mix of human and alien, speaking in words no one should understand. Darnus looked at Sira through the flickering screen. You go. I'll finish this. I'm not leaving you, Sira protested. You have to. Someone needs to tell the galaxy what happened here. The truth about the old war. About what we became. Sira hesitated, then gave a slow nod. Goodbye, Darnus. See you in the next life. Sira limped toward an escape pod as the station shook violently. On Verdun 7, the Council received the final transmission. Terras stood before the gathered leaders. Darnus Vale? A human who saved us all. An old counselor spoke quietly. Perhaps we were wrong about humans. Terras nodded. We owe them more than we can ever repay. In space, Sentinel Prime erupted in a brilliant white explosion. A burst of light, brighter than a star. The shockwave spread, carrying debris and ancient secrets into the void. On Verdun 7, the people watched the sky. Some wept, others stood in silence. Captain Elara Miles was gone. The Resolute destroyed. Darnus Vale lost with the station. But the planet was safe. For now. Later that night, a lone escape pod landed near the capital city. Inside was Sira Lynn, bruised, broken, but alive. She carried a single data core, a record of everything that happened, of the Varnock War, the Revenants, the Black Star, and the sacrifices made. As dawn rose over Verdun 7, the people gathered in the city square. Terrace addressed them. The galaxy has long feared the name human, but today we call them saviors. The crowd cheered. Above them, the stars shone brighter than ever, and in the endless dark, beyond the reach of sensors, something ancient watched. A voice, cold as space itself, whispered, "The game has begun again." Weeks passed since the battle at Verdun 7. The skies had been quiet. No enemy ships, no new warnings. The people slowly returned to their lives, though fear still lingered in their hearts. Commander Terrace Vaughn often found himself staring at the stars, wondering if somewhere out there the ghost of the human warship Resolute still drifted, or if some piece of Sentinel Prime's wreckage floated in the void. But deep in uncharted space, far beyond the known maps, something moved. A forgotten distress beacon flickered weakly from the remains of an ancient battlefield. Broken ships, long turned to dust, hung silently in the darkness. A sleek black vessel, shaped like a dagger, drifted closer. It bore no flag, no identity code. Its hull shimmered, almost invisible. Inside its command chamber, a tall figure stood. Before a glowing screen, its face was hidden by a dark helmet. Strange symbols flickered across the display. The wreckage of Sentinel Prime, the last signals from Verdun 7, and something else. A life sign. A single surviving signal from the explosion site. The figure tapped the console. A soft voice spoke from the shadows behind it. "Is it one of them?" The figure's voice was cold, unnatural. "Yes, a piece of the Black Star survived." A low murmur spread through the room. Another voice spoke. "We should finish it. The galaxy can't handle its return." But the figure raised a hand. "No, not yet. Let them rebuild. Let them believe it's over. When the time is right, we will use it." A screen showed a new fleet gathering in deep space. Not Varnock, not human, something worse. Ships shaped like twisted bones in glass, silent, deadly. The figure spoke again. Humanity may have won a battle, but the war was never truly over. The ship turned and disappeared into the blackness. Back on Verdun 7, Sierra Lynn stood on a balcony overlooking the city. The data core from Sentinel Prime now rested in the Council's vault. The leaders promised to never open it, fearing what secrets it might reveal. But Sierra knew better. She could still feel it, a presence out there, watching. A faint voice whispered in her dreams. Words she couldn't understand. Images of ancient wars and dead stars. That night, as she slept, the data core powered on by itself. A single file opened. The title read, Project Black Star, Phase 2. A message played. "If you are seeing this," the creature survived. "The war is not over. Seek the last human colony. Only they hold the final weapon." And then, darkness. Far beyond Verdun 7, in a long-abandoned sector of space, a small planet shimmered. Its name lost to history. But on its surface, lights flickered. A new generation of humans, hidden from the galaxy, armed with technology beyond imagination, waited. The old flag of Earth still flew above their city. And on a command tower, a figure. "Look to the stars. Soon," they whispered, "we'll finish what our ancestors started." A final message echoed across the void. Humanity isn't done yet.